Right there, Liverpool fans. This is just a new video that I'm doing. I wanted to talk about the what FSG are trying to do in the January transfer window. I mean, the speculation about players coming and going is just it's getting out of hand now. I mean, every time I go into Twitter or Facebook to see what's going on with transfers regarding Liverpool Football Club, we're being linked with bloody, hundreds of players, tens of hundreds of players. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's no set alternative. There's no, how do you say, for Coutinho. We haven't actually identified who our main targets are, who we want to get into the club, and this falls down to FSG. There's some, certain videos on let's say Facebook and Twitter telling us not to be negative, not to talk about FSG in a bad way, not to slate them and this and that. But do you blame the supporters of Liverpool Football Club when they see that there's no one coming in and there's no major alternatives identified to fill in the role of Felipe Coutinho, who decided to bugger off, last week and go to Barcelona? Now, this was his dream, he says. He's had this dream for, a year or so now, more than a year. And he's decided to go to Barcelona now, leaving Liverpool in the shits, midway through the season. I used to respect Felipe Coutinho. I used to like him as a player, but now I've lost my respect for him because nobody does this. I mean, you could have waited until the summer. It's so obvious that you're going to go to Barcelona. There's no one else going to come in for you. And what does he do? As soon as he gets the opportunity, he's gone. Within a flash of an eye, he's gone. He's out the club, he's out the door, he's gone to Spain to sign for Barcelona without actually thinking about what's going to happen to Liverpool this season. What kind of detrimental effect it's going to have for Liverpool's season. And then he comes out to make it worse. He comes out and he says that he cherishes every moment he had at Liverpool. So a player that cherishes every moment you've had at Liverpool, and you go and leave us in the lurch, midway through the season, is that the kind of the kind of loyalty you have to Liverpool Football Club, the kind of respect you have for Liverpool Football Club? I'm not saying that he shouldn't go to Barcelona. If you're going to go, you go, but you do it at a time where at least the team can get somebody else in to replace you. You've left Liverpool now, and you've left us in the you've left us in the shits basically. Who are Liverpool going to buy now? They're trying to put in bids for, Lamar and Mahrez and God knows who else. I mean, Pulisic. There's players coming out from all over the place. We don't even know who they're going after, the club. They don't say anymore. They're trying to keep it secret so that, things don't become complicated, deals and negotiations and this and that. So they keep it, they keep it secret from the fans, from the other people that support Liverpool Football Club. So, well, I'm just hoping that they're doing something in the background, because from what I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, and in the newspapers, it doesn't look like we're going to be buying anyone in January. And if that's the case, then we're in big trouble, because there's even some supporters coming out and saying that this is enough, the squad, to carry on. You've just lost your one of your main players for the last, 2 or 3 years in your team. How can you say that this squad is good enough to carry on? We don't have anyone to take free kicks anymore. We don't have anyone to, play the killer pass into the strikers, into the frontmen to score goals. We don't have anyone in midfield who has any, quality on the ball, decent quality on the ball. So, we're kidding ourselves if we think this is good enough. This team is not good enough to carry on. We're still in 3 competitions. We're still going for the top 4 in the league, maybe even higher than that. The top 3 or 2. If we can, put a decent run together, we could even get into the, 3rd or 2nd place in the league. We're still going for the FA Cup, and we're still going for the Champions League. Now, whether we actually are successful in it or not, you're still in 3 competitions. So if you're a big club, you have to act like you're a big club. You don't, because you lose one player, you don't come out and make stupid articles and say, "Oh, life goes on after Coutinho. We can carry on. We haven't lost anything. We've still got a good team." Yeah, we've got a good team, but you've just sold one of your best players in midfield. So any sensible team in the world, any sensible club, goes out and buys a replacement. because you've got the bloody money. They just spent £142 million. You know, Barcelona. You've got £142 million sitting there. So you know, it's just suicide if you don't actually buy anyone. It really is. You're just letting Liverpool's season go down the drain, basically. And this is FSG. This is what they've been doing for the past 7 years. And I wanted to make this video based on them. You know, what is their intention? What do they actually want to achieve at Liverpool Football Club? You know, we build a decent team. It takes us 3 or 4 years to build a decent team, to get players in and then, you know, put them together and make a good team. And then all of a sudden they go and sell our best player. And if Klopp was anything to do with this, then he's even, you know, he's madder as well, Klopp. He should have fought, you know, tooth and nail to keep Coutinho. Why are you selling him now at this most crucial part in the season? You know, we're in January now. You've got 4 months until May. This is the main part of the season, the most important part of the season. You don't sell your most important player now, do you? You know, you can keep him until the summer. Make a pre-agreement with Barcelona for whatever the fee is and sell him on in the summer. And then they get their player, they're happy, we're happy. But at least he should have stayed here until the summer, you know, like Suarez did in his final year. Who are Liverpool supposed to buy now then, eh? Any player that we try and buy, the fee is just going to be astronomical. It's going to be through the roof now because of that. So what are we supposed to do then? Who are we going to get into the club now? I don't have any bloody idea. I don't think anyone has any idea what's going on. God's sake, Liverpool. I mean, this FSG debacle is just every season it's becoming worse now. I mean, that they go and buy Van Dijk, but we knew why they bought Van Dijk, because it was from the Coutinho money. They knew that they were going to sell Coutinho. That's why they got him, Van Dijk. Otherwise, well, I don't think they would have even signed Van Dijk, in my opinion. I seriously doubt that they would have actually gone out and spent money and bought Van Dijk, you know. And it's just a shame, because Van Dijk coming into the team now has just made our defence, you know, that much stronger. And with Coutinho in midfield, we could have had a great team, you know, to carry on for the, you know, the final months of the season and really make a push for second place in the league. But now, I mean, we're in two minds now. We don't know what's going to happen. It could go backwards. We could end up, you know, we could end up losing games now. We could end up going out of form. It could really affect us badly, very badly. You know, I don't want to be negative or pessimistic, but this is a major player that you've lost. This isn't just, you know, some side player that came in, you know, a substitute or a squad player. This is a main player that you've had for the last 3 or 4 years in your team. And along with Mane, Salah, Firmino and Lallana, you know, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Coutinho was our main attacking threat, one of our main attacking threats this year. Whether it be from set pieces or whether it be from his incisive passes, killer passes into the strikers. And now we've lost him. You know, what's going to happen from now on then? What do we do? You know, there's 2 weeks to go now. Today is the 12th of January 2018. So there's roughly about 2 weeks to go until the end of the transfer window, or, you know, a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is. And Liverpool just don't seem to have any idea who they're going to buy. It's still unknown to everyone, to the fans, to the media, to the pundits. We don't know who are we trying to buy, who are we trying to sign. We haven't made any bid for anyone. That I'm not aware of if we have made any bids. But they're talking about Lamar. Now, don't get me wrong. Lamar is a decent player. But for me, personally, I want to see Riyad Mahrez come into the team. Because as I said in one of my previous videos, you know, where I talked about the Liverpool-Leicester game. Or was it the Everton? Yeah, Liverpool-Everton game in the FA Cup. My analysis on that game. Where I was talking about Mahrez and what he can add to the team. I feel that Mahrez is the perfect replacement for Coutinho. Because he has that, you know, the X factor. He has that unknown ability, you know, where he can cut into the middle of the field, you know, into the midfield, and he can take a strike and it can go into the top corner, or he can play the killer pass. He can take players on and beat them and get crosses into the area, set up a goal for one of his teammates. He has this ability. And you've seen it. You saw it in when Leicester City won the league championship a couple of seasons back. How good he was, and the amount of goals he scored, or he set up for Jamie Vardy. And we're still diddly and daddly in Liverpool. I don't understand. What are they doing? You've got the money. The player's been sold, Coutinho. So now you have to go out and buy the replacement. We haven't got time now to think about it, FSG. I don't understand what you're still thinking about. What are you trying to do? You're trying to balance the books again. You have to spend the money if you want Liverpool to be successful. If you want Liverpool to go on to the next level, you have to spend the money and buy a decent replacement now, as of now. Otherwise, this season could just peter out and we lose everything. If we go out of the Cup, if we go out of the Champions League, we've got nothing left. The league is gone a long time ago, the league title. City are going to win it, even if we do beat City on Sunday, which I don't think we will at the moment, because without Coutinho in midfield to pull the strings, even if we do have Salah, we do have Mane, who's going to feed these players? Who's going to set up the goals? Who's going to control the tempo of the game, the midfield? I don't see Emre Can doing it. I don't see Gini Wijnaldum doing it. Lallana's only just come back from injury. He's not even going to be up to scratch for the game. He'll probably be left behind by the City players because they're flying, The likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling. These are all speed merchants. They're all fast players, quick players. And if you're not fit, if you're not up to the task, then they're gonna run riot against Liverpool, even at Anfield. They may be a bit, they may play a bit more safe at Anfield. They might not attack as much as they do at the Etihad. But if they see Liverpool's weaknesses in defence, and if the midfield is weak as well, then they will do their best to get in behind us, to start quick counter-attacks and to hurt us at the back, the Redmen TV, for instance, yesterday, they were talking about the match build-up programme for the Man City game, and they're saying bloody Karius, Paul Machin, the man on there, the presenter of the show, is talking about Karius as a goalkeeper. Come on, man, are you taking the mickey? Neither Karius nor Mignolet are good enough to be Liverpool's goalkeeper anymore. We have to see this, are we blind as fans of Liverpool Football Club? Have you not seen the amount of mistakes they've made over the past seasons? How many more mistakes do they have to make to convince you that they're not good enough to be in goal for us? Just go out and buy a goalkeeper. There's so many goalkeepers in the world. Pay the money because you've got the bloody money, Liverpool Football Club. FSG have got the money now, so why are they not spending it then? Somebody tell me a reason for this, What is the excuse this time? They're probably going to get the Echo now to write an article saying we'll spend the money in the summer and invest then, and then get that. What are you going to spend in the summer? You've got the bloody World Cup coming up now. Any player that you want to buy in the summer, their transfer fee is going to go up double or triple or whatever it is because of the World Cup. If they perform well in the World Cup, their price is going to go up. You won't even be able to buy these players in the summer. You should be trying to buy them now. Get someone in who is capable to play in midfield to replace Coutinho, and try and get a goalkeeper in if you can. There are goalkeepers out there. It's just a matter of identifying them. They're talking about Alisson Becker, the Roma goalkeeper, or you've got Jan Oblak, the goalkeeper that plays for Atletico Madrid. Or an English goalkeeper. There's many out there. There's Jack Butland. There's Timo Horn who plays in Germany. There's many goalkeepers. It's just a matter of putting the money there and buying the player. But if you're not willing to pay the money, then you're not going to get anyone, are you? And you're getting your silly media puppets now to make excuses for you. We don't need any players. We don't need any backup for the squad. This squad is good enough. Come on. We've heard this story so many times now over the past few seasons. It's just becoming a massive lie now, a massive joke on the Liverpool fans. If you want to be successful, if you want to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City and Chelsea and Manchester United, you need to buy players. Forget about all this rubbish about developing players, Jurgen. Sometimes I get pissed off with Jurgen Klopp as well, because he keeps saying the same thing. You can't develop these players. They're not good enough. You've tried your best over 3 years now. What has changed with Mignolet? He's still making the same mistakes. He's supposed to be an international class goalkeeper. He's still dropping the ball. He's still not able to save a relatively soft shot. He ends up conceding goals. He comes out to claim the ball in the air. He doesn't get there because he's not a good goalkeeper. He doesn't have the attributes to be a good goalkeeper. Karius is even worse. Karius is not going to be the number one at Liverpool. He can't be. If you put him in for a long run of games, he's going to be making mistakes all over the place. He's going to be costing us major points again, like he did last season when he came into the goal. Against Bournemouth and West Ham, 2 examples. Even this season, in the games we've dominated, they give him a back pass and it takes him 1 hour to come out and strike the ball, clear the ball. He doesn't even believe in himself. He doesn't have any confidence. He doesn't believe in his qualities as a goalkeeper. There's something wrong with him mentally, It's just so frustrating, man, to see other teams in the league doing well, getting the players in that they need, and they go out and they identify early the players that they need, and then they go out and buy those players for their squad or for their first 11, because they know that it's going to be tough in the summer. Come the summer months, the World Cup, the prices are just going to be inflated. You're not going to be able to buy anyone in the summer, trust me. If they are going to buy players in the summer, they're going to go after some shitty cheap players again. Players that are cheap, young potential players. They're not going to buy any world-class players, FSG. We've seen them in the past, what they've done. The only signing that they've made in 7 years they've been here, decent signing, is Virgil van Dijk. Coutinho wasn't even known when he came to Liverpool. Sturridge was a reserve in Chelsea when he came to Liverpool, or Man City, whoever it was. These weren't world-class players. Suarez came in from Ajax, I think it was, and he was relatively unknown as well. He became better when he came to Liverpool, but we need ready-made players now. We can't keep relying on young potential to come into the team and then to develop them over 2 or 3 years. You don't have the time. Manchester City are on a roll now. Next 2 years, they're going to be dominating the Premier League. If you don't keep up with them from this season onwards, you've got no chance. We won't even make the top 4 anymore. Chelsea are spending money. United are going to be spending money. Tottenham and Arsenal are going to be spending money as well in the near future. I'm not worried about Arsenal because they're falling away now. They're falling down the league. Tottenham are a decent team on their day. And when they get their new stadium, when the new stadium is finished and they move there, they're going to be earning more money, more revenue to spend on players. So I don't understand why Liverpool are still thinking, we've got the funds, we've got the money, so why are we not spending it? You have to spend the money. And that some of our fan base is still deluded. They still think that the players we have are good enough. The likes of Klavan, Lovren, or the young players at the back, Robertson, Gomez. They're good enough for now, but are they going to be good enough when they come up against the bigger teams, the better teams? I don't think they will. Gomez has been making mistakes as well recently, Joe Gomez. I've seen some fans saying that he's playing well. He is playing well, but he's also making mistakes that are costing us goals. He did against Arsenal, where he didn't watch Sanchez coming in for the header, and then I think he made another mistake against Everton in the cup match, or not Everton. I think it may have been Burnley, against Burnley, where he doesn't watch the player coming in from behind him, and they scored the equaliser, and we could have lost points. If we didn't get that goal in the last seconds, the Ragnar Klavan header, we would have ended up drawing that game. Another 2 points gone down the drain because of a silly mistake in defence. These players are too young. They're inexperienced. And he's only just come back from a major injury. He's been out for 2 years virtually, 1.5 years, Joe Gomez. Since Rodgers left, he's been out of the team. And we're still thinking that, we're going to be successful like this. Who have you got on the bench as a striker, backup striker? You've got Daniel Sturridge, who is virtually finished now. He can't run anymore. And we're still thinking that he's a great striker, some of our fans. He can't do anything anymore, only against the lower teams. You know, put him against a decent team, he won't be able to perform. He hasn't got the pace anymore. He hasn't got the strength. His body's not strong enough anymore. He's been through so many injuries. It's crippled him, you know, debilitated him. He can't, you know, last for 90 minutes anymore in a game. He's knackered by the end of it. Ings is a young player who we bought from Burnley. I thought he was going to be a decent striker for us. He's ended up getting 2 major injuries since Klopp's been here. He's another player that I'm worried about. I don't think he will ever get back into the team. And even if he does, he won't be able to do anything because he's been injured so many times now. You know, it's going to take him 5 to 10 games to even get up to scratch now. You know, and we haven't got the time to put him into the team and see what he does. This should have been done in the pre-season, not now. And well, yeah, so basically we haven't got anyone on the bench. Solanke. Now Solanke's a young player. We've got him from Chelsea, but you know, you can't put Solanke into the front line and expect him to score goals in the Premier League. As you've seen until now, he's not able to do it. Maybe Klopp hasn't given him the time in the game to do anything, but still, a player that is quality, that has confidence in their ability, can change the game within a couple of minutes of coming on, if they know where to stand, if they know how to hit the ball, how to strike the ball. This is what goal scorers do, strikers. But Solanke is just too young now. It's a joke, Liverpool. It really is. We're saying that our squad is better. Where is it better? Goalkeepers are terrible. The backup defenders that we've got, not good enough. Midfielders, not good enough. The strikers, they won't be able to score goals. If you put them on to change a game, they haven't got the quality to do it. The players that we've got. So who do we turn to then? We're going to go and look at the under-23 players now. Put them into the squad. Is that our solution now to the problems? You need to buy the players now. In January, you've still got 2 weeks. Just go out there, identify a few replacements for the goalkeeper, for central defensive midfield, and they're talking about Keita, bringing in Keita now. Why do you want to bring him in now? Why do you want to spend extra money on him? Keep him for the summer. You don't need to pay extra money for him. He's going to come anyway at the 1st of July. He's our player. We've signed him already last summer. Why are you wasting money on a player you've already bought? It just doesn't make any sense. You've got so many other options that you can buy, and you're talking about Keita, bringing in Keita early. This stinks of desperate. They're desperate to get somebody in because they don't have any alternatives. Liverpool. They haven't identified anyone to bring in. They knew that Coutinho was going to leave. These idiots. They knew. I'm telling you. They knew from the summer that he was going to leave. And yet they haven't done anything to rectify this problem. So these people, I don't know how they run Liverpool Football Club, but it's a joke, We're becoming a joke of a club. I don't want to say anything about my team, but the way we're being run, it's like a joke, a circus. It really is. Anyway, this is what I wanted to make the video about. As for the Manchester City game on Sunday, now Manchester City are the best team in the league by far, And if we don't buck our ideas up, now we're unbeaten in 17 games, Liverpool Football Club. We're actually doing well. We're on a good run of form. But that was with Coutinho. He's gone now. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. But he was pivotal to our performances in the last couple of months. And to this unbeaten run keeping going. It was down to Coutinho as well. Not just Salah or Firmino and this and that. Coutinho was a major part of it. We have to accept that now. And if you don't buy anyone to replace him, to bring in the quality that he had, or at least half the quality he had, then from now on it's going to be an uphill task for Liverpool to even get into the top 4. Tottenham are only 3 points behind us. Arsenal are only 5 points behind us. They're in 5th and 6th. We're in 4th. We should be looking to get into the 3rd or 2nd place in the league. trying to catch Manchester United and Chelsea. But because we don't have any ambition, it's been like this for 7 years now, 8 years, whatever it is. You don't have any, FSG don't have any ambition of actually doing anything, of actually winning any trophies. All they care about is the bloody profit, the business model. That's all that they're interested in at Liverpool Football Club. It's so blatant to see. You know, if it had been the old Liverpool chairman or whatever it is, the owners, they would have bought somebody by now because they had ambition. They wanted to win the league every year. They wanted to do well in the cup competitions in Europe. But now it's just like we're just ticking along, you know. Let's just tick along step by step. If it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. If it takes 20 years, it takes 20 years. We can't wait that long. You know, as I said before, if you don't keep up with Manchester City now, you're going to be left so far behind. It's going to be like the German league or the Italian league, you know, the Spanish league, where there's only one team in it, 1 or 2 teams. And the rest are just going to be like 30 points behind, 25, 30 points behind. This has already happened this year. Next year it's going to be even worse because they're going to be buying even more players, Manchester City. They're going to be investing heavily. They can smell, you know, the success. They can feel it now. That if they just add a couple of more players, they're going to be up for major honours in Europe as well, not just in the English league, in Europe. So imagine what they're going to be like in a couple of years' time, City. And Liverpool are just going to be so far behind City and the others, you know, Chelsea, Manchester United. We're just going to be, you know, a 5th or 6th place team again. As the majority of the 27 years since we've won the league, we've just been languishing in 6th position, 6th to 8th position, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th. I think we've only finished 2nd a few times in the Premier League. A 3rd a couple of times, and that's it. And 4th, we've hardly ever even got into the Champions League, you know, the last 27 years. We've hardly even got into that position to be in the Champions League. It's just unbelievable to think that such a successful team like Liverpool, and we're nowhere near the other teams. We're nowhere near their power, their quality. And now we're relying on young players to get us over the line. Gomez is a good player, Robertson, but you can't trust them long term. You know, they're not established players. Somewhere down the line, they're going to make mistakes. And when they make the mistakes, the fan base is going to be on their back again. Because, you know, Liverpool can't afford to slip up now. They don't have the time. We don't have any, how do you say, we don't have any margin for error anymore. We're already languishing behind. We're 18 points behind City at the moment. If we lose on Sunday, hopefully we don't, but if we do, it's going to be 21 points already in January. So that is finished. The league is gone anyway. You know, you identify your major priorities from now on, whether it be the Champions League and the FA Cup, and you buy players that are capable to win you these competitions. You don't just sit there and say, make excuses on the internet saying, you know, we've sold Coutinho, but we can carry on. You're talking bollocks. You can't carry on. What happened when you sold Suarez and you sold Sterling and you let Gerrard go? What happened to the team? From nearly winning the title in 13-14, we dropped down to 6th again. And then when Klopp took over from Brendan Rodgers, we dropped down to 8th in that season in the league. Why? Because the squad we had wasn't good enough, the players we had. They weren't able to cope with the games. They're not good enough technically. They're not experienced enough to do well in the games. Because the team, we didn't have enough quality players in the team, world-class players. That's why we dropped down the league. You know, you lost to some dodgy teams like Swansea, Crystal Palace and Southampton, this and that. You know, this can't happen at Liverpool. West Bromwich Albion. And we've got West Bromwich Albion now in the FA Cup. That's not going to be an easy game. And if you don't have any creative players that can score goals from long range, if they end up doing the same thing they did in the league game, it could be another frustrating game for Liverpool. You know, hopefully we don't end up getting knocked out of that as well, because then Klopp is going to start feeling the pressure. If he doesn't do well in that game and he gets knocked out of the FA Cup, then he's going to be under massive pressure. Because even if you do beat Porto in the Champions League, From now on, you're not going to get any easy teams. It's all the heavyweights of European football. You know, whether it be Barcelona, Real Madrid, you know, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, City, Manchester City will probably go through. They're playing Basel, they'll go through. United are playing Sevilla, most probably they will go through. So, you know, the quarter final, even if you do get there, you're looking at some massive teams in there. If you want to compete with these teams, you need to be at their level, the same quality. Anyway, Liverpool fans, this is my video. Hopefully, we do beat Manchester City on Sunday, and you know, add to our unbeaten run, keep the unbeaten run going. But it's too late now anyway for anything in the league. We've left it too late. This is only momentum for the cup competitions, for the Champions League and for the FA Cup, because the league title is gone. Even United can't do anything anymore. Chelsea can't do anything. They're all looking at Liverpool now to try and beat City on Sunday, to think that they've got a glimpse, you know, of hope of coming back in the title race. But even then, City will still go on to win it, because they've got such a healthy lead now in the league title, in the title race, that they're not going to relinquish it now. Barring a major catastrophe, you know, a major how do you say, bad run of form, they're not gonna drop that many points this season, Manchester City, and they're going to go on to win it easily, the Premier League. So we shouldn't be dreaming, you know, we shouldn't be kidding ourselves that anything's going to change in the league. Anyway, we don't care about the league anymore. I certainly don't care about the league. I want silverware, because Jurgen Klopp has been here for 3 years now. And when he came into the club, he said that he wanted to celebrate. If he's here for 5 to 6 years, he wanted to celebrate every season with some kind of silverware, some kind of trophy. But he hasn't achieved anything. And we're still praising him. We're still saying that he's the Messiah and this and that. You know, Dalglish came in, and within a year he won the League Cup. He got to the FA Cup final. You know, with a limited squad. So if he's able to do that, then why can't Jurgen do it? With the players that he's got, this squad, they should be doing much better. You know? They should be doing much better than they are at the moment. Too many draws this year. Because of our bloody defence. We can't keep a lead. You know, of the 8 draws we've got in the league, I think we were ahead in 6 of them. Those 8 draws that we've got. We're not able to hang on to a lead. We're not able to see the game out. Control the game and just win it, you know? 1-0 or 2-1, whatever it is. You know, the last 3 games we've won 2-1. So that's a good trait to have for Liverpool. Hopefully we can keep that up now. Just grind out the victories. We're not even worried about the performances anymore. All we're worried about is Liverpool to keep in touch with the big teams in the league. We are a big team ourselves. We're a massive team, massive club. But it's no good just talking about it. You have to prove it on the pitch. If you don't actually do anything on the pitch, you don't win anything, then, you know, people are starting to laugh at Liverpool now, because they see Liverpool and we're not achieving anything. You know, we haven't won anything the past, how many years? Since 2012, isn't it? When we won the League Cup with Dalglish. Since then, we haven't won anything, you know. We've been to the final of a couple of competitions, the Europa League and the League Cup, and we lost both of them. So this is not good enough anymore, you know. And it falls down to FSG, the owners. They're not willing to pay money for top players. They're willing to, you know, to keep their business model going, to have a profit, and for Liverpool to just, you know, linger in 4th place or 5th place. You know, it really disappoints me to see some fans on Twitter, Facebook saying that 4th place is good enough for Liverpool. It's not good enough, man. What are you talking about? This is a club that every season went into the league title race wanting to win it, wanting to win the title, the championship. 4th place is not good enough for Liverpool. Don't even say that anymore, you know. Any fans that say this are just bloody idiots. You can't be a true fan of Liverpool Football Club if you think that 4th place is good enough. It's not good enough for Liverpool. Liverpool have to aspire to win the league. This is what made Liverpool great in the 60s, 70s and 80s, winning the league title and then being successful in European competitions. You know, Shankly and the others, they built such good teams, such good squads that they could be successful in, a few competitions in the same season. Even in 2001, Gerard Houllier, in the 2000-2001 season, we won the treble, the FA Cup, League Cup, and the UEFA Cup, and we also qualified for the Champions League, all in the same season. Because they spent on that squad, they brought in good players, and they knew that if they got injuries or if the players were not in form, the other players in the squad that would come in were just as good as the first 11, and they would carry on doing the same job at the same quality, the same performance level. But now we don't have that anymore at Liverpool, and we're thinking that we're in a good situation. Until now, we've done well, yeah, because we had Coutinho, but Coutinho's gone now, so he's a major player in this first 11. You need to get someone in to replace him. Don't even make excuses now, FSG, or the Liverpool Echo and this and that, the Redmen TV. Don't even make excuses for the owners. They have the money there now from this sale, this Coutinho sale. And if they don't do anything about it, if they don't take any action, then that means that they're not interested in Liverpool Football Club. They don't care about Liverpool's success on the pitch. They're only in it for the money. We know that's the case anyway. They've proved it over the 7-8 years they've been here. We know that's the case anyway. But this Virgil van Dijk signing is not tricking me. I know why they brought him in. They got the money from the Coutinho sale. And, clued on fans that are actually awake, know this is the reason why they got Van Dijk in. Why did they not sign him in the summer then? And they're making all these excuses that we had to build bridges with Southampton after the tapping up affair. That is total and utter rubbish. If you put the money there, they would have sold him in the summer to Liverpool. Don't even make excuses. Look at Barcelona. Look at the way they do things. They give the money and they buy whoever they want. Paris Saint-Germain the same. Liverpool have got money. They're making profits now, Liverpool. We're not in any financial problems at the moment, Liverpool Football Club. So I don't understand why we're not identifying the players and buying them. And they're still talking about young players, young up-and-coming talents again. These people, they never learn their bloody lesson, do they, these Yankees? I don't think they're good enough owners for Liverpool Football Club. I really don't think they're good enough. And it's only a matter of time before our fan base actually realise this. And we need to get somebody in. We need to get owners in who are willing to pay money for good players to invest in Liverpool Football Club. I don't even care about the stadium. Chelsea don't have a massive stadium, but they've invested in their team, Abramovich. That's why they're successful. Look at their players, their first 11 in the squad. Quality throughout the entire squad. They don't have any shite players. Any players that you can say are average. Manchester United the same. They have put in some English players, young players. They're not at the level yet, Manchester United, but they're getting there. Because Mourinho, he wants good players. He demands good players in his team from the owners. And this is what Jurgen Klopp should be doing as well. But it seems to me that Jurgen Klopp is just prodding along. He's not interested in buying any players. He keeps saying that we don't want to splash cash. What do you mean you don't want to splash cash? This is what football is now. You have to keep up with it, Jurgen. If you don't spend the money, what are you going to achieve at Liverpool? You're not going to win anything, as you haven't until now. You've come close a couple of times in the League Cup final and the Europa League final, but it's not good enough. The way we capitulated in the finals and we lost, it's not good enough for Liverpool Football Club. Anyway, Liverpool fans, this is all I've got to say on this subject matter, and hopefully Sunday we actually come out the traps, and the sale of Coutinho doesn't affect us too much, and we go and beat City for the first time this season, and that would be a major achievement for Liverpool, and it would also give us good confidence for the upcoming months of the rest of the season. It really would push us on to be successful in the FA Cup and the Champions League, hopefully. And yeah, we can only wait and hope now and see what they do in the transfer market, the rest of the transfer market. But the water's just going to get hotter for FSG from now on. You know, the water's starting to boil underneath them now. So if they don't spend money, then it's only going to get worse for them. You know, the fans are going to start, you know, turning against them and against Jurgen Klopp as well. I've seen comments in Twitter, Facebook slating Jurgen Klopp because some fans think that he is, you know, a yes man, and he doesn't want to add players to the squad as well. You know, he maybe done this in Germany, you know, when he was with Dortmund, but you can't do that at Liverpool. Liverpool demands success. Dortmund were never a good team anyway in Germany. They never had the history of Bayern Munich or, you know, Stuttgart or Schalke, you know, Bayer Leverkusen. They were never in their level before Jurgen Klopp anyway. So this is not the right mindset to have. Liverpool were always successful since the day that they've been, since the day the club was established in 1892. We've always been successful. You know, we've always demanded success in the league. And this is what we want back at Liverpool. This is what we're waiting for, to win the league title again. At least in our lifetime, you know, so we can say that we've won the league. As Liverpool fans, we demand it from the club now. You know, from the owners. If you want people to keep on supporting Liverpool Football Club, then you need to start winning things. You need to invest in the squad, in the team, so that we actually win trophies. Otherwise, you're just going to become, you know, you're going to become a forgotten club. We're going to end up becoming a forgotten club that no one talks about anymore. It's even started now. Look at the match of the day, the running of the games. They hardly ever put Liverpool first anymore because Liverpool have gone down the pecking order. You've got Manchester City, you've got Chelsea, you've got, what do you call it? Manchester United, and you've got Tottenham now ahead of us. Why is that? Because they're more successful. They're winning more trophies than Liverpool. They keep building season on season. They want to get better. And Liverpool we're accepting mediocrity. We're accepting anything now. Any player, any this and that, any kind of football. Jurgen Klopp has got us playing some good attacking football. Very good football. But for the life of me, I don't understand how he cannot sort out a defence in 3 years. And he keeps putting his trust in Mignolet and Karius in goal. That is a recipe for disaster, Jurgen. Come on. You can't trust these goalkeepers anymore. Put in Danny Ward. You keep telling us that this man is a good goalkeeper, and we saw it when he played for Huddersfield. When he played for Aberdeen, he is a good goalkeeper. So why don't we give him a start in the first team and see what he does? You know, maybe not against Manchester City, but against, one of the bottom half teams. You know, let's say it could be Stoke City, or it could be, whoever's in mid-table against West Ham. Somebody, put him in goal and we see what he can do. And if he doesn't perform, then you can take him out and then put your other goalkeeper back in again. But you're not going to actually find out, are you, if you don't play him, if you don't use him? I think that he looks like an assured goalkeeper. He looks like he believes in his ability to be a goalkeeper for Liverpool Football Club. Unlike Mignolet, who, as soon as he makes a mistake, he crumbles. That's it. You lose the game. You draw the game. Karius, even worse. When we're winning the game, he doesn't look confident of his ability. Forget when we're losing, you know. Anyway, it's down to Jurgen Klopp and it's down to FSG to rectify these problems, to sort these issues out. Because if they don't, then and if Liverpool start losing, if they start dropping down the league, which hopefully we don't, but you never know in football. If you don't keep up with the times, you're going to be left behind, you know. Look at what happened to Inter Milan and AC Milan in Italy. They were the top teams. AC Milan now are in bloody mid-table. The mighty AC Milan, you know, the team of the 90s, such a big team, such a successful team, they're in bloody mid-table now in Italy. Because they didn't invest in players. They've been left behind by Juventus, by Napoli, by the other teams in the league. So, you know, Because you've got a big name, it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful because of your name. You need to add players and you need to become better every season to keep up with the others, to challenge for major honours. Yeah. Anyway, Liverpool fans, sorry about giving you a headache. You know, this was supposed to be a shortish kind of video, but it's ended up, you know, being a 45-minute video now. So yeah, hopefully you do listen to it and you do listen to my analysis, my points, and let me know about your thoughts on the subject in the comments below. You know, comment section below, and please like the video, subscribe to it, and this is Ahmet Gosa, and I'm signing out, and up the Reds. You know, hopefully we go on a run now without the little magician Felipe Coutinho. I don't wish him success at Barcelona because the way he left Liverpool, it really just it pisses me off. I don't accept it. You know, even Suarez was able to stay one more year, so I don't understand why Felipe Coutinho is running to Barcelona when he knew that he can't play in the Champions League this year, and they virtually won the title anyway. They don't even need him this year, so he should have waited until the summer, made a pre-agreement now, the two clubs, and then he can leave in the summer in July. But he wanted to go now. Apparently it was his dream, you know. So we all have dreams, but because we have dreams, it doesn't mean that we you know, leave our responsibilities to other people. You've got a responsibility to Liverpool Football Club, and you should be fulfilling your responsibility, your contract, and then you leave. But the players nowadays, you know, they don't care about the clubs. They're only in it for the money. This is why football is going downhill, in my opinion. It's just going to be between the rich clubs now anyway. From now on, the football is just going to be between the big clubs in the big leagues. The others are just going to be, you know, non-entities. They're not even going to be important anymore, the rest of the teams. And after a while, it's just going to become boring, you know, football. It's just going to be, you know, every season the same thing's going to be happening. The same teams being successful. Same teams winning the league title. And I think a lot of people will be turned off by that. They won't be watching the games anymore, and it will affect football in general. You know, the game of football will be not as popular anymore. A lot of people will start to watch other sports from now on because there won't be any competition anymore. There won't be any rivalry. It will just be between a few teams winning the European Cup. You know, winning their domestic leagues, and the countries as well. You've got Germany, you've got Brazil, and that's about it. The Italians have fallen away. The Spanish are going to get worse from now on because their players are getting older now. So it's going to be, you know, between a few countries for the major honours in international football as well. Anyway, Liverpool fans, nice to talk to you again, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you later on. Maybe after the Manchester City game. See you later on.